It was an old faded picture of a man in full clown makeup. White face, red nose, frizzy orange wig. His painted smile was crooked, but his eyes were worse. Small, dark and narrowed. That's Giggles, Max said solemnly. He lives in the crawl space.
She's in the same red suit, same perfume, same pouring rain, same industrial park, staring at me like she does. Same damn song playing on the radio. This time when she motions for me to open the window, I do as she says. I feel a terrible sense of dread. The rain's really heavy and I wait for her to say it.
Panic gripped me. My jaws clenched painfully, but I couldn't release the tension. Is someone there? I whispered, my voice shaking. The shape jerked towards me.
No!
Welcome to episode
120.
What the fuck? 120
Ooh, 120.
of Ghost Huns.
With who?
With me, Hannah Bitchkovsky, and her.
Bitch.
Oh, I can already see where this is going
I
today.
don't know what's wrong. Do you know what? I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm on the edge.
I fell over last night.
Why? Where? That's
well,
funny.
yeah, last night, me and Big Suze and Tim all went traipsing off to Barbican in London, and we did a little
Lovely Matt Gedge.
history huns.
Yeah, we did.
It was a history hunt. It was like a little gruesome history of London, which will be out on our Patreon, www.patreon.com/ghosthuns.
That's so cheap.
Really soon.
Yeah.
But it was really sweet, wasn't it? He was so lovely.
I wanted to put him in my little pocket
Yeah.
and take him away to the woods.
Me too, yeah. He was cute, wasn't
Wasn't he cute?
he? He was so lovely.
He was like a grown-up pixie man.
Yes. He
A
was
lovely
really
man.
sweet.
And do you know what? We have to
Very good
say
at his
how
job.
we met him. We were standing outside the
yeah.
Barbican and this fucking twat holding
was
a
a
sign.
twat.
This fucking
I hated
illustrated
him.
sign with like bloody tours. And I was like, oh God, is it going to be him?
Yeah.
And you saw this. I
Yeah.
went over to him and went, oh, excuse me, sorry, is your name Matt? And he went, what tour are you here for?
Yeah, he went, what tour are you here for?
And I was like, if
and then he
that's-
went, no, I'm not Matt.
Yeah, and I was
And
like,
we were like, fuck for that,
yeah.
you mad
And
cunt.
then I immediately was like, well, what's your name then? He,
Yeah.
he just looked away and I was like,
Yeah,
oh, do you know
he
what?
was a prick.
And then this lovely pixie
It was
appears.
like,
and he went, yeah.
And like, thank God
Yeah.
you're not him, because he's a twat head.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh, hi,
He was a
guys.
vacant pig.
Yeah, well, listen, you'll understand what vacant pig means
Yeah.
when you watch the episode.
Yeah.
But we don't know what Vacant Pig is. Who are they? What's the company? What
Basically,
do they do?
Susie saw a sign on a intercom last night for a
Yeah.
vacant pig. We found it on Company's House. We don't know what the fuck it does. If someone
Yeah, can
from
someone find
Vacant
out?
Pig get back to us.
Because, to set the scene, we're wandering around the Barbican area of London late at night, and there's all these wonderful old houses.
7 p.m.
But it was dark,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. Pedant.
Pedant.
Vacant pig.
Peasant.
Peasant. And anyway,
Late at night.
late at
To be
night.
fair, that is quite late for me.
Yeah, 7. And we're wandering around and I saw this beautiful old building and I was like, do you know what? I wonder who lives there.
Yeah.
I bet it's a series of offices. And you know when you see these little
Yeah.
name cards
Yeah.
next to the buzzer. And they were all very weird, weren't they?
Well,
And
yeah.
one of them was Vacant Pigs.
One of
One of them was
Vacant
like,
Pig.
it's a studio, it's an office. But I was like, it just said Vacant Pig. And I want to know. So
This coffee is gorgeous,
Is it
can I
hit?
just say?
Is it-
Embankment
what a lovely,
Station. Embankment Station, they do the best coffee.
Do they?
It's the best.
yeah.
Mm.
Girl.
Anyway, so after we finished that,
Yeah.
I then
fell
went and met
over.
Adam for a drink.
Ooh.
So I had about 5 drinks last night, which is quite a lot of drinks. And I also mixed it. I had wine, I had beer, and I had vodka tonics.
Oh my God.
So when me and Adam had a drink with his mate, and then me and Adam had a drink together, and then we were getting the train home, and I stacked it as I was getting on the train, like fell into the train, and it fucking. In fact, if I got a
no.
bruise, it was so embarrassing.
Poor you.
So embarrassing. I was like, oh, it hurts so much.
Oh,
Yeah, I
did
think
you
it's
hurt
these
your
shoes
shin?
because I fell over the other night as well.
Are they quite wedged?
They've just got no grip on them at all. They're just slippy as fuck.
Slippy.
Yeah, and I just slipped. Almost went through the fucking gap.
Oh
My titties saved me.
God.
My titties blocked me.
Imagine.
Yeah, from going all the way down.
What station was this?
It's not true. Barbican. Not Barbican. What am I talking about? Blackfriars.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my God, you poor thing. I really hate that. There's
Thank you
something
very much.
so... I've said this before on the pod, like my eyes start pricking when I fall over. I feel so humiliated and
embarrassed,
upset and hurt. I'm hurt.
Yeah, I'm hurt.
But I don't
yeah.
want to be hurt. I don't want anyone to see I'm
It
hurt.
really hurt, actually. And I was like,
Oh,
fuck.
poor you.
And Adam was like, you okay? I was like, just pick my glasses up, Adam. My glasses flew off as well, like a nerd.
Oh, you big nerd.
I'm a big nerd.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, that happened.
I'm sorry.
And then I went to bed and I had a lovely sleep, you know.
I dreamt about, like evil puffins and, like...
What do you mean?
Oh, honestly,
What do you mean?
Well, what I will say is, after the gruesome tour,
Yeah.
we all swapped ghost stories in the pub, and it's one
Yeah.
of my favourite things to do. It
Yeah.
was
Next to a fire.
I love it. There was a roaring fire.
Yeah.
And
Wine.
the four of us were just having a drink and sharing ghost stories, and it was one of my favourite things to do. And we heard a very creepy one, and it really stayed with me. And it just, I don't know, I just got really unsettled, and then
Yeah.
I had really fucking vivid dreams. I've actually written some talking points.
Yes, please.
I know we're doing some
No.
right now.
Oh, can I also just say,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, go on.
people appear to be coming for us
Mm.
for our Taylor Swift comments,
Mm.
right? I stand by them. I'm not
Yeah.
apologising. At the end of the day, you're trying to steal someone else's thunder for a moment.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with it.
People are like, she's just having fun.
It's just having fun. You've got billions of pounds. You can have fun whenever.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Sit
down.
I can't get over how good she looked, though.
She looks amazing.
Like, you know?
Her dress was incredible. Oh yeah, I'm not yucking her.
No, I
you know what I
know
mean?
you're
Like
not. I
she's
know,
gorgeous.
I know.
She's a very talented businesswoman. I'm just saying, for 1 second, you're one of the most famous women in the world. Just sit down.
Give it up, yeah.
Just for
Yeah,
5 minutes.
give
Just
it a
let
rest
someone.
for a little
As we've said
second.
before, we're saying this because we as comics have been on stage.
Yeah.
We've watched other people on stage. We've had people laugh so hard that it's
Yeah.
fucking annoying because they're doing it on purpose to piss you off.
Yeah.
And it's and I'm talking
It's
about
for
other
show a
comedians.
bit, innit? Yeah, I know
It's
what you mean.
all
And
for
like,
show.
it must be hard. I mean, this is a very small violin, but like, it must be difficult because she's constantly in the spotlight
Yeah.
and is having to do things that are symbolic. So she has to be
Yeah.
like, I'm someone who is supporting other women. So
Yeah.
it's like, I know that she's probably doing it to be like, look how women should act with other women.
Yeah.
But not everything has to be a symbol.
No.
And you can't just take people at their word and
Yeah.
be like, she was enjoying Sabrina.
She could just
no
be
matter
like-
what. Yeah.
In a chair.
It must be a bit difficult to be like constantly in that spot. I would hate it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Yeah, we're not apologising.
My
for
level
it.
of fame right now, love it. Literally,
Our level of fame.
one person in
nil
Milton
pois.
Keynes. Are
Yeah.
you from a podcast?
Yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah, that's
I don't
all- yeah.
ever want that to change.
No, I mean the things that would come out about me.
The fame.
The
What am I
sex
talking
videos.
about? Yeah. Oh, the skeletons in my
Yeah.
fucking closet.
Sex.
I've
I
done
haven't
bad
taken
things.
sex videos. No one needs to worry about that.
I don't have a sex video.
I don't have
If
sex-
my mum ever does
Didn't
tune
do-
in again,
It didn't do Kim Kardashian any harm, though.
I know, but I don't
Did it?
have any. I do not.
No, neither do I.
So
no,
I
I
wanted
don't.
to-
I don't.
Don't.
I don't have
I'm
any.
not a pervert like you.
I
Yeah,
can't
whoever's
be
listening to that and
arsed.
went, oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I told you about my Valentine's Day gig when I was saying to everyone that everyone's giving the obligatory blowies today, and then I
Oh,
looked at this
yeah,
woman
and
on
it
the
was a
front
mum
row
and
and
a
I said,
son.
well, "Thank you for ruining my punchline." It was a mum and a son. Can we move on, please?
It's just,
That's
sorry.
a boring story.
No, it's because I heard it. But then I do realise I'm not the only listener.
Yes, thank you. It was a mum and son. And I said, "Are you going to give him a blowy later?" And she went, "Well, that's my son, so I can't do that." Great, move on.
That wasn't part of my talking point.
No,
so actually,
I'm
not
sure.
interested.
Yeah,
I want to talk about the monkey movie.
the monkey movie.
You've got to see it, Hannah.
Okay.
Hannah Bitchkovsky. You got to go see it.
Yeah, it's a monkey that just kills people. Move on.
I knew you were going to do that. No matter what I said on my talking points,
I was ready.
You were
I was like, I'm
going to
slap her
over that,
down.
Yeah. But
No, go on.
well,
Do you enjoyed it?
Both you and I were invited to a screening of it, and there was a really funny bit where, we went to a screening of Longlegs
Yeah.
that we were invited to,
Yeah.
and it was just a bunch
Shit.
of like smelly nerds in the basement of Prince Charles Cinema.
Yeah.
This was at the View West End. They'd obviously put a bit of money behind it.
Oh, right.
Because there were 3 actresses playing cheerleaders just wandering about. And I was like,
Oh.
what are they? Like, no one cares.
Yeah.
And then we all sat in our seats. And these cheerleaders just ran down the aisles and were like, give me an I can't spell monkey. Give me an M.
Umky.
Give me an M. Give me an O. Give me an N. And everyone, they like literally kneeled around to me and went, tough crowd. Because no one gave a shit. And do you know what fucked me off? We all got our wristbands.
Yeah.
And then I went up the stairs and at the door, the bouncer was like, no, sorry, you're not wearing it. And I was like, mate, I tried to put it on. I'm an idiot. I've accidentally fastened it without it being on my hand. So I'm going to have to hold it because the fastener's done. And he went, I don't care. You're not coming in. If it's not on your wrist, you're not getting in. And I was like, well,
wow.
I'm not a fucking tiger. Not that that's a good example of some, it's not Glastonbury. I was like, this is a shit screening of a fucking film for like, I was like, what are you doing? And I got really annoyed.
It's not the premiere.
It's not the fucking premiere. It's not a big deal. It really isn't a big deal. And I was like, are you serious? You're not letting me in? And he was like, no. You can either get another wristband or you're not coming in. I was like, oh, I'm literally holding it. And he was like, no. Go. And I was like, oh my.
Fuck off, mate. So what did you have to do? Go and get a new one?
I had to go like 3 floors down. I missed getting a free drink because I was faffing about. I know, it was honestly. Yeah, so anyway, that's obviously every episode starts with a rant, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have you got anything
was it
to rant
a good film?
It was really, really fun.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you like a bit of like your horror and your comedy. Well, I'm sure you do. If you're listening to Ghost Huns, you probably like both.
I'm not sure if I do,
Like horror and comedy?
Horror and comedy together.
That person who's like, it's not scary actually. Since episode 74, the stories aren't scary.
Podcast.
Well.
I also fucking disagree.
I know.
You're wrong. Not allowed to have an opinion.
Also, if you are listening to the podcast since episode 75 and you're still listening, but you're waiting for it to get scary, move on.
Yeah, move on.
It's not for you. Might not get any scarier.
No, fine.
Might not.
Go and listen to True Crime because that's scary.
Yeah.
Scary what actually happens in the real world.
Watch House on Haunted Hill. Hill on Haunted House.
I can't believe you haven't watched that. You have to watch it. It's so fucking good. Yes. Can everyone please comment being like, Suze, go and watch House on Haunted? Because it's
I never watch anything scary.
It was the one, I've been searching for scary things forever. And I watched it and I went, oh my God, this is it. This is the one. This is the one. Yeah. The second series is
you have told me
shite.
the ending a bit.
I haven't.
You did say about the twist. Is that a twist?
I haven't told you a twist.
You did.
Tim told you a bit of a twist.
Well,
Tim.
I don't mind that. I don't mind hearing the twist, but what I'm saying is that is the twist.
That's not the only thing that happens. There's loads of other things. It's kind of a part of a much bigger tapestry.
Oh, fine. I'll only do it though if Neil's with me watching it because I'd
watch it again as well.
Alone.
I would watch it. Can we all come round?
Yeah.
Me and Adam come round to the villa and watch it. It's really good. I haven't got any talking points.
Do you want to pick a tarot?
Yeah.
Go on then.
There's a little bit of electricity there.
Really?
There always is.
Go on.
Oh.
Who is she?
Oh, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hang on, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of Pentacles.
Ow.
Oh, what?
I've got a cramp in my
that's
stomach.
weird, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I suddenly got a pain.
I did that and you went, like a voodoo doll.
Oh my God, that was weird.
Is this bad?
No. Success, contentment and abundance. It's the job well done card.
Yes.
The card centres on an older individual, me, who is assumed by this point in life has accumulated great wealth. I have.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
It's my card.
There are 2 dogs. That's us.
Yeah.
Waiting for their master's commands. No, we don't have any masters.
We don't have any masters, no.
There's also a younger couple with a small child within an opulent home. Yeah, you're after one of them.
No, hang on. I'm not pregnant. Let's make that very clear.
No, at home, not a kid.
My brother, my sister and brother-in-law, because we're all going to get a little commune.
Oh my God. It says that you've come a long way and has everything she desires. There's no wanting. Ow. Life, work, health and love are all doing well.
Oh my God.
Isn't that nice?
That is
It's a positive card.
That's stunning.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled with that. I have got a talking point.
Go on.
This annoyed me.
Yeah.
Trentham Gardens, went with my sister and brother-in-law and the brand new baby and the old baby. Went into a cafe.
Yeah.
We wanted to have a little coffee, right? Every table was full. There was a staff member sat on a table for 4, right? So I go in, and there's the manager sat at the thing, tip-tapping away on a fucking laptop. Tip-tap-tap-tap. So I walked in, and there was one tiny table with one seat, and I went over and I went, we could sit here. I know there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
But we could sit here at this one-person table, and then if someone leaves, we can move to that table when that happens. Couldn't we?
Did they not?
And this manager went, looks from one side, looks from the staff member who was like on a phone drinking a fucking Coke on a table for 4, and looked at my sister, and it was like, what is going on now? What cannot compute? And it was the most annoying thing. And then Freddie walks over to this old woman and picked up a walking stick, and she went, no, thank you, and snatched it off him. He's 2.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, I'm sorry. And she just went,
oh, God.
I know, horrible
place.
experience there. Really didn't enjoy it. Very bad. Someone went elsewhere, but wasn't good.
No, there's some places just have really bad energy.
Really annoying.
And that filters down from the manager who clearly doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't give a shit.
And all the staff then
like,
don't.
Have your break, love, but why don't you sit there and we can sit there?
Yeah.
But I couldn't have made it more. And then I looked at both of them and I went, right, well, looks like we're going.
Yeah, good.
Because I was like,
don't give them your
hello?
custom.
No.
Yeah. Do not give them any of your money.
But
hello?
she could not compute at all. Like I was like, move her here.
I hate that.
Disgusting.
Just people are the worst.
That's what annoyed me.
Apart from Huns.
Have you got a story for me?
Yeah, shall I kick off with one?
Yes, please. I'd love that.
Are you ready?
I'm ready for a story, please. I want to be really... Is this spooky? Am I going to be spooked
It's
out?
going to be really, really spooky, actually.
I'm in the mood for getting spooked.
Okay.
I'd love a wine.
So, this is called The Uber Driver.
Oh. Did he chat all the way? Is that the scary thing about this? Just non-stop chatter?
They do that, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black cabs don't, which I like.
Well, no, I disagree. I think some black cabs have been very chatty.
Oh, really?
Actually, do you know what I will say for Uber drivers? Recently, they've been very quiet. They don't want to chat to me.
Oh, they're always talking to me, which is nice. I mean, I can't say that isn't nice, but they are. I often in a cab am either pissed or I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I just want to put my head back and wait till I get home.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because I go straight onto my phone. And
I
so
can't do that. Oh, yeah.
I
can't because I get sick.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The Uber driver. I'm an Uber driver and I can't explain what happened a few months ago.
Right.
I'm writing this to get it off my chest. I need to start off by saying I don't believe in ghosts, the paranormal, anything like that. I think it's people you should be scared of. And trust me, in my line of work, I've seen it all. Drunks, aggressive cokeheads, weirdos, the lot.
God, this must be my Uber driver.
Yeah, it's like, and that's all one person. She's blonde.
It's Hannah from Ghost Huns.
Yeah. I'm a pretty stoic guy. I don't rise to bad behaviour. I take it all in my stride. I'll nod and just focus on the fare. I've had people in my car that I'm convinced are psychos, like a glint in the eye, that kind of thing. They say some really weird stuff, like enemies they'd like to bury, that type of thing. But like I said, I just look at the road, mutter an agreement and let them vent.
He's not had very... What ratings have these guys got?
Yeah, I know.
He's picking up 2.9.
Yeah, but I guess you would, wouldn't you? Like, if you pick... Like, you think that Uber drivers have bad chat. But imagine someone being like, oh, you know what, the other day, blah, 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 and you're like...
Yeah.
Fuck. I mutter an agreement, let them vent. I've never been worried for my safety. So let's get into it. When this young woman gets into my taxi wearing some expensive perfume, chatting hands-free to someone about some meeting she's just had, clearly in a hurry to get to another one, I figured it was a ride like any other. I zoned out. The drop-off was out of town, some industrial park I'd driven past but I'd never been into. The woman was stressed, that much I could tell. Sharp suit, eyes darting all over the place, coming back at whoever was on the other line with things like, you don't get it, they need it by the end of the week. Stuff like that. I remember a song by the Beautiful South came on. It was an oldie and I liked it.
Oh, which one?
This could be right down.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Liverpool, I'm going to guess that.
Also, it could potentially be a bit creepy in the right setting.
Don't marry her. Have me. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, did someone else change it to fuck?
Don't marry her, fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone did that,
Maybe
didn't
that
they?
was the original.
It could have been Dirty South.
Dirty South. Beautiful Dirty South.
Beautiful Dirty South.
It was an oldie. I liked it. I exhaled, counting my lucky stars I never wound up in a job like hers. I see people like this a lot. Frenetic energy, hurriedly sending off emails in their go-between rides, shouting commands at some poor colleague on the other end of the phone. I know people might look down on me being a taxi driver, but I love what I do.
Yeah.
I find...
I've always fancied that.
Have you?
Yeah. Because, like, when you start, it's very task orientated, isn't it? It's very like, there's no responsibilities really. You can just do your job and you know that
you're not taking anything
home.
You
know at 9 p.m. you're going home.
And you choose your hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've quite fancied it. I'm leaving.
Yeah, she's going to become a taxi driver. Taxi
Going over
Huns.
to Uber.
But I love what I do. I find people fascinating and I wouldn't change it. I have a small family and make ends meet and I don't want for anything. But I'm getting away from the story. So we're getting closer to this industrial park. It was raining pretty heavily. I remember my wipers going like the clappers. We pass nondescript offices. She gets out in a panic, mutters a thanks and disappears off. Then I see her run back. I glance into the back seat. People leave stuff when they're in a hurry. There's nothing in the back. I look back out and she's by my window.
Oh, no.
She makes a motion for me to roll it down.
No.
I do. She looks scared. Thanks for the ride, she shouts through the rain. Not at all. You left something behind, or...
Mad twat.
You left something behind, or... I notice she hasn't got an umbrella. Her red suit is soaked, and her hair's soaked.
Red suit's bold.
Yeah, I know, innit? Yeah. No, nothing, she says. I stare at her. I start second-guessing myself. Have I forgotten to give her something? She's just looking at me. You all good, yeah? I ask. I just wanted to thank you. I don't say thank you enough. Her eyes are wide and she's shaking from the cold. No problem, ma'am, I say, gripping onto the keys in the ignition. The rain's coming through the window onto my lap. I don't need this chat to continue any longer, but she's staring at me. I nod towards the offices and say something like, well, you have a good day now. You'll end up swimming to your office. She suddenly makes a movement to her shoulder bag. She fumbles with a purse and takes out an envelope. Then she takes out a 20. She stuffs the note into my hand. It's not my office. Sorry and thank you, she says. And holding the envelope to her chest, she pegs it off into the rain and towards the building.
She pegged me.
She pegged me.
That's why she gave him the 20
She
quid.
pegged me in the rain. Yeah, cheap. Jesus.
Take this
Where's
and
this
I'm
industrial
going to
park?
peg you all night long.
Oh, God.
I know my mum's going to come to me and go, Hannah,
really?
what's pegging? And I'm going to have to explain
Just
that.
hanging up the washing.
I remember
on the
I had
line.
to explain to her what bukkake was once.
Oh, no. Please, let's not get into that. Holding the envelope to her chest, she pegs it off into the rain and towards the building. Honestly, I just thought rich people are crazy. That's all I thought. Crazy, stressed, and maybe she pitied me, but whatever.
If you can afford an Uber outside of London.
Yeah.
Like
And a 20 tip as well.
She's gone outside of London.
Yeah.
She's loaded.
Whatever. I took the tip, I drove off, I accepted another ride, I put it all out of my mind. Next day rolls round. I drop my daughter at school, same day as always. I do my rides. It's a nice sunny day. I'm whizzing through the business district and I accept a ride, and it's the same woman.
Oh.
Same red suit. Chatting on her hands-free, saying something about a meeting she's just had. Our destination? The industrial park outside of town.
No.
I can't help but smile to myself. What are the chances? Hi again, I say.
Dirty bitch hasn't changed her clothes.
She doesn't seem to hear me. Then the rain starts, out of nowhere. Beautiful South start playing again.
Oh.
We get to the industrial park. It's the feeling of deja vu, but it's nothing more than that. She's a busy woman, I figured. She pelts out of my car into the rain, but then she stops. Despite myself, I glance into the back seat again. I know before I turn round, she'll be by my window. She motions for me to wind the window down. Her hair's soaked and so is her red suit. You okay? Thanks for the ride, she says. I feel a shiver crawl up my spine.
Another 20 quid coming there.
You mentioned that yesterday. Listen, don't worry at all, and thanks for the tip. You take care of yourself, okay? And with that, I close the window.
Yeah.
Keys in ignition. She's staring at me. She doesn't move. I kick the car into reverse and I stare back at her. As I drive off, I keep her in my rearview mirror. She hasn't moved. A lone red figure in the rain. I see her pull out that envelope again. I shudder. I feel sorry for her. I accept a new ride and I'm out of there. The third day is the day that I play in my mind over and over. The same woman gets into my car. She's in the same red suit, same perfume, same pouring rain, same industrial park, staring at me like she does. Same damn song playing on the radio. This time when she motions me to open the window, I do as she says. I feel a terrible sense of dread. The rain's really heavy, and I wait for her to say it. "Thanks for the ride," she says, shivering. My hand hovers over the window button, and I stare back at her. "You take it easy, okay?" I
She
say.
not got a coat on.
She goes quiet. And then she says very quietly, "Will you tell them Mummy says thank you?" My blood runs cold. A lump forms in my throat. I nod at her. I pull the car into reverse. I drive away from the industrial park.
What did she say? Tell them Mummy says thank you.
Will you tell them Mummy says thank you?
Who's Mummy?
I drive away from the industrial park, knowing I won't see this lady again.
Huh?
The thing is, I tell a lie. I did see the lady again. That night, I Googled her. After I settled my daughter into bed, I acted on a hunch. I typed my town into Google, followed by the words woman, red suit, dead.
Oh, we know she's fucking dead.
I felt sick pressing enter. The results loaded, and there it was. 3 days ago, a woman by the name of Lillian Fellows had taken her life in an office block outside town. Her face smiled up at me from my phone screen, a devoted mother of 3. On the board of a company I'd not heard of, had been scheduled to attend an important meeting, missed a recital of her youngest child and failed to show up.
Jesus.
Her body was found in the car park of an industrial park outside of town. A birthday card signed from her 3 young daughters was found in her hand.
Oh, this is so sad.
Like I said at the beginning of this story, I have no explanation of what happened to me all those months ago. I told the police I was likely the last person to see her alive, but they explained she'd taken her life the day before my account of her first getting into my car. They told me I can't have seen her, and I sensed they thought I was a lunatic playing on her family's grief, but I know what I saw. I hope wherever she is, she's at peace. And one day, I hope I'll be fortunate enough to pass on her message. Mostly I'm writing this to say, because I don't say it enough either, thank you, Lillian, for choosing to ride with me.
And giving me 60 quid.
Well, no, I only got one.
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't tip him the next
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know. Thank you, Lillian, for choosing to ride with me and for passing a message on. I hope I won't let you down.
Wow. Well,
the end.
Hopefully everyone's enjoying this comedy podcast.
Listen,
That was creepy, though.
Creepy, innit?
Yeah, very creepy. Oh, bless her. That's sad.
I know. And
Very sad.
She chose to see him to get a message to her kids. Isn't that?
I'd probably choose my husband, but
he might be a rotter. She might not even have a husband.
Maybe they were having an affair. Oh, yeah. That's a good point, yeah. Maybe her husband's a twat, yeah.
Creepy.
Anyway, that was very scary. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Do you want another one?
Yes.
I'll never work on a job from Facebook ads again.
Oh, fucking yes.
The ad was one of those weird last-minute Craigslist posts. Single dad needs babysitter for tonight. Well-behaved kid. $300 cash. 8 p.m. to midnight. Must like clowns.
You immediately would be like, no, thank you.
300 quid for babysitting, I'd go.
With a weird little cryptic, must like clowns.
Well, I'd imagine, I'd be a bit like, I'd ask some questions. I'd be like, is your son a clown?
Yeah.
Have you got lots of clown dolls? Are you the clown? I want to know what, like, you can be a bit more specific. Why are you being so mysterious?
Is Daddy the clown?
I'd just been ghosted by another client and was desperate to make rent. So against every screaming instinct, I took the job. The house sat at the end of a lonely cul-de-sac, a grey 2-storey with peeling paint and a faintly sagging porch. Oh,
she's got a sagging porch.
Look at her sagging porch. Dirty bitch. When I knocked...
The Vacant Pig and the sagging porch are 2 pubs.
2 pubs next door to each other. Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would love to run a pub.
I'd love to rub a duck.
I love rub-a-dub in my pub. I'd love to run a pub. I would. I mean, like 1 day a week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd get too annoying. I could just see myself behind the bar, like, "Well, yeah, I'm in love, same again." I think I'd really thrive.
It would really suit you.
I think I'd thrive. As we discovered last night, I've got the cleavage for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, poor Matt. Jesus Christ.
To find out what that's about, go to www.patreon.com/craisins. The house sat at the end of a lonely cul-de-sac, a grey 2-storey with peeling paint and a faintly sagging porch. When I knocked, the door opened instantly. Thank you. Like someone had been waiting on the other side. A man stood there, mid-30s, wearing a wrinkled suit and crooked tie. His eyes darted over my shoulder, scanning the empty street. "Come in," he said, barely glancing at me. The inside was cleaner than I expected, though the furniture looked like it had been bought second-hand from about from 5 different decades. He led me straight to the living room, where a boy of about 6 sat cross-legged on the floor, clutching a stuffed lion. His wide eyes lifted up to me, then back down. "This is Max," the man said. "He's shy, but he'll warm up." Max gave me the smallest of waves.
Oh, hey.
Hey, girl!
The campest child
What's
in the
that?
world. Oh, hey, honey.
Graham Norton in age 6. "Everything okay?" I asked, noting the father's jittery demeanour. He rubbed the back of his neck.
Jittery demeanour?
Jittery demeanour.
No, I don't know why I found that funny. It's just
Oh, right.
what you're going to say.
Yeah, noting the father's cheers on his trouser leg.
Sorry, go back.
"Everything okay?" I asked, noting the father's jittery demeanour. He rubbed the back of his neck. "Yeah, it's just, you know how kids are, overactive imaginations. He's been having nightmares, but he's fine. You're fine. Everything's fine." "Liar," my brain whispered. But I ignored it. Mostly because I needed the cash, but also because it plain wasn't my business. I was just here to tuck the kid into bed and make sure no one stole him in the night. Easy. After a rushed explanation about snacks, bedtime, and a promise to be back before midnight, he shoved a wad of 20s into my hand and practically bolted out of the door. I watched through the windows as cars...
More fucking money changing hands.
Huh?
There's always a theme.
Always a
isn't
theme. Also, I would definitely wait till the end to give them money.
there? Yeah,
Like,
paying up front.
They could just leave.
Like I've done for you tonight. I've paid up front for
Gosh,
that.
you make it sound like I'm your prostitute.
You are.
I am tonight, to be
Yeah.
fair. Get me lingerie on, I'll pop down to the
Pimping you around
exhibit.
Ballum.
Yeah. We've really... You can find that on Patreon as well.
Sorry.
No,
So stuffed
don't
notes
apologise.
into the hand.
Yeah, I would definitely wait. Okay. I watched through the windows as car sped off, leaving Max and me in uneasy silence. "What do you want to do, bud?" I asked, crouching to his level. Best to make the kid feel a little bit more comfortable with me, right? "Do you like clowns?" he whispered.
No.
He wasn't blinking. He had a chubby face and messy hair, but he also...
Rude.
Well, wait till you hear the rest of the description. He had a chubby face and messy hair, but he also looked a bit squished and lopsided.
Squished.
Quasimodo. Like
so-
a clay figure someone had perfected, then dropped.
Wow. So harsh for a kid.
I know, can you body shame a 6-year-old?
I mean, that's quite cute to call a kid
there are some-
squished,
yeah,
but
yeah.
lopsided is a bit
There
funny.
are some ugly kids about there, aren't there?
Oh, there really are.
Right,
Yeah.
there are,
Yeah.
to be fair. Not all kids are cute. Some of them look like they've been hit in the face with a pan.
Well, talking about people who look like they've been hit in the face with a pan. We are witches.
We're horrible. The question hit me like a dart to the... Can I also say again, the only time me and Susie slag someone off is when they've been a bellend.
Yeah.
And
like a real...
Like, actually have done something horrific to one of us.
And
And this was pretty bad.
yeah.
Anyway, you'll never know what that is. The question hit me like a dart to the spine. It had been mentioned in the ad, but I still found it a bit unnerving. Sure. Why? He pointed to a framed photo on the mantel. It was an old, faded picture of a man in full clown makeup. This sounds like a bit like John Wayne Gacy.
Who?
He was a serial killer who dressed up as a clown.
Oh,
Spooky,
no.
he's rotter. It was an old, faded picture of a man in full clown makeup. White face, red nose, frizzy orange wig. His painted smile was crooked, but his eyes were worse. Small, dark and narrowed. "That's Giggles," Max said solemnly. "He lives in the crawl space."
Oh, gee whiz now.
My stomach dropped. "What?" "Daddy says not to talk about him," Max continued, his voice barely above a whisper. "But he comes out sometimes. At night." At least I knew what the dad had been talking about. Nightmares and a very overactive imagination. I plastered on a smile to hide the goosebumps crawling up my arms. "Well, Giggles must be a very nice clown if your dad lets him stay here, huh?" Max didn't answer. He just stared at his photo, his knuckles turning white around the stuffed lion.
Oh.
The kid was quiet. He didn't want to get up and play, didn't raise a fuss, ate his snack silently, was asleep in his bed by 9, the stuffed lion tucked under his arm. I tiptoed out and settled on the couch, flipping through channels to distract myself. The picture of Giggles still loomed on the mantel, its crooked smile seeming to stretch wider in the flickering light. Would I get into trouble for turning it around? Probably. It's a picture, Shelley. Stop getting stressed.
Yeah, Shelley.
It's a picture, It's a picture, Shelley. Stop getting yourself freaked out, I told myself. Do you?
I think it's great.
I think it's... I'm not going to give an opinion in case there are some Shelleys.
Well, one of my best mates' mum is called Shelley, and she's so cool.
Yeah. I think I've only ever known...
She's like proper Bronx judge.
Oh, Shelley.
Shelley. She's called Shelley. She's called Shelley. She talks like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what a great name.
Yeah.
Shelley.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When it's like, Shelley!
Oh, no, I do.
Stoke-on-Trent, it's a bit different.
Yeah, fair.
The kid was quiet. He didn't want to get up and play, didn't raise a fuss, ate his snack silently and was asleep in his bed by 9. The stuffed lion tucked under his arm. I tiptoed out and settled myself on the couch, flipping through channels to distract myself. The picture of Giggles still loomed on the mantel, its crooked smile seeming to stretch wider in the I've done that whole bit. What am I doing?
I'm enjoying the repeat.
Sorry. The picture of Giggles still loomed on on the mantel, its crooked smile seeming to stretch wider in the flickering light. Would I get into trouble for turning it around? Probably. It's a picture, Shelley. Stop getting yourself freaked out, I told myself. At 10:12 p.m, a dull scraping sound. Thank you. Like something heavy being dragged across wood, cut through the otherwise uneventful night. I muted the TV and held my breath, listening. The sound came again, louder this time, echoing from somewhere below. The crawl space. I told myself it was a house settling for maybe an animal, but my gut screamed otherwise. So did my stomach, which was suddenly twisted into tight, unrelenting knots. I grabbed my phone, its glow the only light, as I crept towards the basement door. It was slightly ajar, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. Hello? I said, my voice trembling. Silence. I considered calling the dad, but what would I even say? Hey, your imaginary... Oh, fuck's sake. Hey, your imaginary clown might be real, and I think he's redecorating the crawl space. Against every shred of common sense, I went down. Morbid curiosity drove me.
Silly bitch.
To be honest, you're asking for it.
Yeah. Babysitter goes into basement after
Yeah,
creepy
you're
clown.
asking to get killed in this situation. Morbid curiosity drove me. The basement was cold and smelled of mildew. Boxes lined the walls and an old washer and dryer sat in the corner, but my eyes went straight to the small wooden door set in the far wall. Its edges... Its edges warped with age. The crawl space. The scraping sound came again, louder now, directly behind the door. My heart hammered as I reached for the handle. It was ice cold. The door creaked open to reveal a low, narrow tunnel. Its walls lined with cobwebs. It didn't even come up to my knees. I crouched down and shone my phone's flashlight inside. That you in there, Giggles? Something moved. At first, I thought it was a trick of the light, but then it shifted again. A shape hunched and unnatural just at the edge of the beam. It had to be an animal. A raccoon, maybe? Right? Panic gripped me. My jaws clenched painfully, but I couldn't release the tension. Is someone there? I whispered, my voice shaking. The shape jerked towards me.
No!
And for a split second, the flashlight caught its face. White makeup, red nose, black, empty eyes. I screamed and slammed the door, stumbling back up the stairs. My heart felt like it might burst as I grabbed Max from his bed and locked us both in the bathroom. He woke up crying, clutching his line. What's happening? His pudgy cheeks were red from sobbing already. Nothing, I lied, my voice cracking. Just stay here, okay? My phone buzzed. A text from the dad. If you hear something downstairs, don't go in the crawl space. Feels like something you should have mentioned before you fucking left.
Or common sense tells you don't go in the fucking crawl
Yeah,
space
to
where
be
the
fair.
creepy clown is.
The blood drained from my face. It was too late on that one. My thumbs flew over the keyboard. What the hell is in there? No response. The sound of dragging came again, this time from directly outside the bathroom door.
Oh, boy.
Max started sobbing, burying his face in my chest. I held him tight, my own tears streaming down my face as the doorknob began to rattle.
Mm.
Go away! I screamed, but the rattling grew... Go away! I screamed, but the rattling only grew more frantic, and suddenly it stopped. For a long moment, the only sound was Max's muffled cries. Then faintly, a voice drifted through the door, high-pitched and sing-song, like a nursery rhyme. Oh. High-pitched and sing-song, like a nursery rhyme. Hi, Maxie. I clamped a hand over his mouth to keep him quiet. My other hand fumbled for anything I could use as a weapon, but the bathroom was bare. The voice came again, louder this time. I'm lonely, Maxie. Won't you play? The doorknob rattled once more and then it went still. I didn't move, didn't breathe, until I was sure it was gone. I waited until almost midnight before daring to crack the door open. The hallway was empty, but a set of muddy footprints, huge and misshapen, led from the bathroom to the basement door. The dad came home minutes later, looking dishevelled but unfazed. Did you go into the crawl space? He asked, his voice flat. What the hell is wrong with you? I said. Your kid's terrified. There's something down there. He sighed and ran a hand through his hair. Look, I'm sorry, but Max is fine. You're fine. It's just Giggles doesn't like visitors. I quit on the spot and never looked back, but sometimes in the dead of night, I hear a faint, high-pitched laugh echoing in my dreams, and I wonder if Giggles found a new crawl space.
Oh.
The end. Ah! Fuck off, Giggles!
Okay.
Move
there's
house.
So many things. Like, first of all, fucking plug up that crawl space.
Plug up the crawl space.
I don't even know who has a crawl space. What is a crawl space?
It's just a bit of hollow house.
Wall.
Yeah.
In between wall and wall.
I think maybe that you can get to like electrics or
Jesus
stuff like that.
fucking
Because we had
Christ.
one in our living room in the house that we live in now, and there was a crawl space underneath the floor so that you can go and get to the electrics. And once we sent Millie down there, she was
Poor
the only,
Millie.
she was the only one small enough to get down there.
Oh my God.
Go on there, take your spanner,
Yeah.
you 4-year-old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I think they're just I think they're kind of pointless.
Yeah,
You might
well,
need them once, and then after that, you don't need them again.
Well, they
so plug it up.
harbour demons, clearly.
Oh.
No.
Why is there a picture of him though?
Why is there a picture?
I
and
think I
why?
know what it is.
Why is the dad? Oh, it's the dad.
the dad.
It's the dad, isn't it?
The dad used to be a clown, and then he got struck off for being weird. Struck off the clown register.
Yes.
And he goes,
The
and
dad.
now he goes out at night and then gets into the crawl space, and he's like,
Yeah, no wonder
I'm the
his
clown,
fucking
Giggles.
wife left him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Poor Max and his misshapen
Poor,
head.
I know, and his misshapen, squishy face. Okay, well, would you like another story?
I'd love another story, please.
This story starts long before I was born, in the mid-1960s.
Lovely.
I'm the youngest and have a brother 18 years older than me. When he was growing up, they would typically watch The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, then go to bed. This story is that all of a sudden... No, sorry. The story is that all of a sudden, in the middle of the show, my mum stood up from the couch and exclaimed, Milford's been shot.
Milford.
Milford.
Stunning name.
Milford was my mum's brother, and they were
Oh,
extremely
sad.
close. A little while later, the phone rang. Her brother had been shot and killed by his ex-wife. My mum told me this story many times. My dad and brother corroborated it, but it always seemed uncomfortable and they didn't want to talk about it. Fast forward to today. I was hungry, so I went to my neighbourhood chain restaurant to get a grilled chicken Caesar salad and watch some
Lovely.
football. I sat at the bar since I was by myself. There was a guy sitting 4 or 5 seats away from me who seemed lonely and was chatting with the bartender. I just ate my salad and watched the game. After a bit, the dude asks, regarding the football game, do you have a dog in this fight? I didn't want to talk to anyone and tried to be polite while making it clear I was watching the game. He kept talking though. I have a method of getting people to leave me alone, so I deployed the method. I call it CPR, conspiracies, politics, and religion. I bring up topics that make people feel uncomfortable and push it till they leave me alone.
Lovely.
Well, this guy was undeterred. When that happens, I lean in harder because if they don't run away, sometimes, well, the conversation gets interesting. To my surprise, the conversation did get interesting. He was way more open-minded than I expected. At some point, I asked him if he was familiar with the concept of synchronicities. He said he wasn't. So I explained it and gave him an example. FYI, the example was not the story my mum told me. I've never used this word to describe anything before, but what he told me next left me gobsmacked. He said that my description of synchronicities reminded him of a story he heard from one of his parents' cousins. The story started with, they were watching The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. The moment he said that, I knew the rest. It was almost the exact same story my mum told me. In his story, his great aunt suddenly exclaimed, "Jimmy!" A short time later, they got a call that her favourite uncle, Jimmy, had died in a car accident. WTF. There was no way that was simply a coincidence.
What is that about then?
Isn't that mad? True story.
Yeah.
So that...
True story.
Well, you know how it's like dogs can sense when their owners are dead and whatever happened there, but the idea of not just the story itself, but the idea that he brought up, it's called synchronicities. It's such a... I didn't know it was called that, right?
Oh.
But
is that like when like the lead up to something always results in the same thing?
I think it's that let me look it up. Let me look up a definition because I
look it up, honey.
Synchronicities definition. A simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related but have no discernible causal connection. So synchronicities, so like the idea that the Jimmy Carson show, two different stories, two different sets of people, but both exclaim something during the show.
Oh.
It's really weird, isn't it?
That's bizarre.
But when things happen together as if perfectly timed.
Okay, you ready for another one?
Yes.
This one is called The Pet Cat.
Lovely.
Is that cat? Jinx!
Jinx, the private touchwood.
Jinx, get off my vagina, you perv. A few months ago, my parents moved to a small village and I had to attend a new school. The house next door to ours was owned by a crazy old woman.
She's not.
She's
just
probably our
living
age.
her best life.
Yeah, fuck off. She spent her days sitting all alone on a bench in front of the house and muttering to herself under her breath.
Stunning.
Honestly, with a Pinot.
I can't wait to do that.
One day when I was walking by, I noticed that she seemed to be petting something that was sitting in her lap. At first, I thought it was a cat.
It's her pussy. Touching yourself on a bench in your little older
fine.
age.
She is a bit mad having a wank on the porch.
Go for it. It's your bench, your pussy. Go for it. Just live your best dreams.
Why can't all this just be done in a bed? Why can't everything be done in a bed? It's these people that are like, oh God, I love having sex outside. You're like, why?
Why?
Give you the leg cramps. Like
the sand, the rocks.
I think everyone's a fucking liar and everyone... The bush. Everyone just pretends like it's like they like it because they want to sound interesting. It's not fun for anyone.
Just get a hobby.
Anyway, so she was petting her fucking vag on the porch. she was fapping herself off on the porch. At first, I thought it was a cat, but when I took a closer look, I realised there was nothing there. So it definitely was a vag. She was just holding her hand above her knees and stroking thin hair, but long labia lips. That's what I'll do, that's it.
Yeah, fair. Again, later life, they will grow.
They will drop. And I've watched it happen.
If they're by your knees and you want to give them a stroke, go for it.
Go for it. Roll them up like a little spring roll and crack on.
Oh.
Perhaps she had a pet cat or a dog once, I thought. And it died, and in her disordered mind, she thinks it's still there. I felt sorry for the old woman, and with a sigh, I continued on my way. I felt sorry for her and did fuck all about it. Then one night, when I was sleeping soundly in my bed, something strange happened. I woke up to feel something hairy lying by my side. It gave me a fright, and I jumped off the bed. Just then, I noticed a shadow moving out the corner of my eye. It went across the floor and out of the door. I was startled, but when I calmed down, I realised it was probably just some stray cat or dog that had wandered into the house. That was when I happened to glance out my bedroom window and saw the crazy old woman next door. She was standing on the sidewalk, having a wank under the streetlight. Her long grey hair was hanging loose and fluttering in the wind. Her eyes were wide, and she was looking directly at me.
About to come.
For those listeners, me and Susie have just done a very childish wanking
we're so
movement with
her
hand. I'm so sorry.
We should lighten the tone, raise the tone.
I was so scared that I jumped back from the window. Then the woman turned and went back into her house. Took me a long time to calm down, but eventually I went back to sleep. As I was drifting off to sleep, I remembered something that struck me as odd. When I saw the shadow of the stray cat or dog running out of my room, it didn't really seem as if it was running. It was more like rolling across the floor to the door, but I didn't think any more of it. The next morning, when I woke up, I got dressed and went downstairs to eat breakfast. On my way to school that morning, I passed the old woman's house again. As usual, she was sitting there on the bench, muttering to herself and stroking something in her lap. When I passed by, I distinctly heard her say, "Oh, what were you doing? Why did you run away from me last night? Look how you scared that girl." I got a queasy feeling in the pit of my stomach and it made me shiver. It was all I could do not to start running. At school, I decided to ask my friends about the old woman. No one really knew anything except that she'd been released from a mental hospital about 10 years ago, and that was why everyone kept away from her. Since her release, all she did was sit all day out on the bench outside her home. A few days later, my father struck up conversation with an old man who had lived in the village all of his life. When my father asked him about the old woman, he had a very chilling story to tell. He said that the old woman had spent over 30 years of her life in the institution. When she was young, she'd been married and she and her husband had lived together in the same house. According to him, she suspected for years that her husband was cheating on her, but he always denied it. Then one night, she caught him with another woman. She hacked him to death with an axe and cut off his head.
Oh.
When the police came, she was sitting on the bench in front of her house with an insane grin on her face. The severed head of her husband on her vagina, and she was talking to it and stroking it gently.
Oh, my word. So hang on, the thing that walked into her room was a head?
It was a head. It was just a head in a bed.
Just a head with like little
hairs, and then it just rolled off the bed and out the door.
Fucking hell.
Bit less scary,
Again,
that imagery.
I'm team mental woman.
Team mental? Yeah, of course.
Lop his head off.
Yeah, well, why was he getting into bed with an underage girl?
Oh, was it underage?
Well, she was at school.
Oh, I'm clearly
The child, yeah, it's a child.
Right, so you've got a pedo for a husband.
Pedo dad.
Lop his fucking head off.
Pedo husband.
Yeah. Good for her. Lop his head off. Enjoy fapping yourself off outside your own property.
With your husband's head.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whatever blows your hair back, as you say.
Honestly, there's no judgment on this woman. Whatever blows your hair back.
It's funny that. I like that phrase.
I got that from Hugo.
Oh, did you? He's got some great. I'm really looking forward to me, you and Hugo going for cocktails.
I know,
tomorrow.
we're going for a cocky tea.
Right, did you enjoy that?
I really did. I'm gonna
I really did.
Oh, I really did.
It's time for cow.
I hate that. So, I don't like it. Oh, I just spat everywhere. That's disgusting. Sometimes.
Cow. I prefer that.
Cow.
Yeah. I prefer that.
I prefer that.
More of a parody. Oh, I really need to pluck my nipple hair today. Have you got big hair on your nipple?
Yeah, loads.
Yeah.
To be fair. TBF.
I found one the other day and I pulled it out and no lie, it was probably about this long.
Oh, God, honestly.
This
so
long
bad.
after I pulled it out.
Yeah, fuck.
Really
that
bad.
makes me feel really, actually quite sick.
Satisfying, though.
This is from Aimee.
I don't know why I looked so annoyed then. I was sat
You
here
were a
and I was
million
like,
miles away.
yeah, I was a bit, yeah.
No, to be fair, I think
The resting bitch face.
I've learnt your expressions.
Oh, good.
So I did realise that was
Yeah,
far
like
away
she
rather
just-
than fuming.
Yeah. Because I was like this.
No, it was 1,000-yard
Yeah.
stare.
And you know when it takes you a second to come back, you're like, oh, you've got to come back.
Yeah. Hi, Hannah and Susie and Hannah.
Hello.
Before I start, I want to say I love the pod and I listen to every episode and have subbed to your Patreon to support your spooky girls more. You can say my name on the pod if you wish. This is possibly going to be quite long, so I don't mind if you just read a few of them. We're going in.
We're going in.
Yeah, balls deep. It's important to know before reading that my grandma passed away in June of last year.
Oh.
We're sorry to hear that. It was a very difficult and scary time, but we're all slowly healing from her loss. Since her passing, I believe she has been reaching out to me, making her presence known in little ways, and I want to tell you about them as it might bring comfort to those who have recently experienced or will experience a loss too.
Lovely.
I'm going to try and do these in chronological order, as that makes the most sense, but sorry if it seems muddled. The first instance happened the very same day she passed away. I don't know if anyone has seen a ghost, but I believe I saw my grandma standing in the hallway of my old house. The hallway was always very dark, and I used to think I saw things peeking around the doorframe or going up and down the stairs frequently, but this time it was slightly different. I used to glance over in that direction frequently. Anyway, however, this time I was 100%. I saw my grandma standing there checking on us. It wasn't like in the films where you see every detail, but they're slightly see-through or a silhouette of a person standing there. The only way I can describe it is colourful shapes.
Right.
Almost like how when you were younger and you used to put pressure on your eyes.
You know what? Before you even said that, I was doing that last night.
Were you?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
What, you press your...
You put pressure on your eyes and then all of a sudden shapes start happening. And it's really weird because this weird thing happens where I used to guess what I was going to see next, and I thought I was a witch because I would always guess what, but of course it's your brain. If you do it now...
That's so strange though.
Do it now. Close your eyes and just press. It doesn't have to be much, just like that. You'll see different shapes.
Yeah.
And you can kind of guess what's coming, but then your brain will conjure it up, but right in front of you.
That's weird.
Really weird.
It's weird that you thought that, because that's not something I would ever have connected to.
I used to do it to try and get myself to fall asleep.
Really?
Mm.
Wow.
I thought I was the only one.
You and Aimee are in sync.
Yeah, Aimee girl.
I don't think I've ever done that.
It's good. Bit fun.
Pressure on your eyes and you can see all the different colours. Now that I'm typing out, it might just have been a me and my brother thing, which seems a weird thing to do. I saw a smaller, round, creamy shape on top of a bigger and longer purple shape. Like I said, I'm 100% certain it was my grandma checking in on us to make sure we're doing okay, and she didn't want any of us to be too upset about her passing. In August, I was heading out for the day and I couldn't find the ring her and my mum bought me for my 21st birthday, which was odd since I kept it in the trinket dish on my bedside table and didn't keep it anywhere else. Heads up, this is going to get a bit like your story.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I left the house anyway and decided to look for it when I got back. When I was searching for it when I got home, I tore my room apart trying to find it. I emptied the dish, my drawers and my bedside table. I looked under my bed, my dressing table and the drawers of that too, under it, in my pockets of clothes and my wardrobe, laundry basket. I even looked through the contents of the Hoover, as I thought I might have accidentally sucked it up in the vacuum when hoovering the day before. In the bin, as I emptied the Hoover after every use, I still couldn't find it. My mum even helped me look for it in all the places I had. I couldn't find it anywhere. I was distraught to the point I was sobbing whilst digging through the bin contents. Grief is a very humbling thing to go through, and boy was I humbled. I eventually calmed down and tried to come to terms with the fact that I wouldn't see it again. That was until about a month later. I was getting ready for work. Something caught my eye in the trinket dish. It was the ring. There was no way me or my mum could have missed it, as we emptied and separated everything at least 5 times between us when we were looking for it the first night. But there it was, sitting there, as if it had always been there. I thanked my grandma out loud for finding it and returning it to me, as it only felt right. The next story happened when I was decorating my new room as we were moving into her house. Whilst I was in my room, filling cracks, sanding down and washing the walls, I was listening to the pod and the adverts started playing. I know Spotify changes the adverts to make sure they're relevant and up to date. However, the song that was playing in the background of one of them was the song we'd been playing as we walked into her funeral. The song isn't a particularly popular one that is on many adverts. I'd never heard that advert or song play before or after that one time. And again, I like to think it was her way of saying she approved of what I was doing to her old dressing room.
Does it say what the song was?
In case you're wondering what the song was.
I was?
It's Christina Perry's version of You Are My Sunshine.
Oh.
Like I said, it's not a frequently used song at all, so it blew my mind a bit that I heard it in her house listening to a ghost podcast while decorating my new room. After we'd moved in for a couple of weeks, I was in the bathroom washing my face and brushing my teeth before bed, and I heard something small fall to the floor. I couldn't see anything, so I checked on the counter, and the little ceramic frog charm I had on my phone was gone. It had a habit of falling off, so I thought nothing of it, and that I'd find it soon as it couldn't have gone far. I went downstairs into the kitchen to get a drink before going to bed, and as I turned the light on, my attention was drawn to something on the kitchen counter. It was the frog charm that fell off in the bathroom. Again, I have no explanation of how it fell off upstairs and me finding it in the kitchen minutes later. Small other things have happened, like smelling her perfume and having dreams with her in it, but they always seem small in comparison to the other events. Thank you for reading this all the way. Again, sorry it's so long and I can really ramble, but
Don't
I love you both
apologise.
loads. And I'm now off to watch your ghost hunt.
Oh.
All the best, Aimee.
Oh, thank you, Aimee.
Isn't that stunning?
Yeah, that's really sweet.
But also
I like
that's
that.
so like your story.
It's really
The
there are
necklace appearing out of
such
nowhere.
weird things that happen
I
that
completely
we can't.
agree.
That necklace has freaked me out more
Yeah.
than anything.
I know. I would say that's your sort of number one
Because
ghostly experience.
I know that I was wearing it. Like, it's the same as anything.
Yeah.
You can say to then people will be like, well, you weren't that convinced, or you didn't know, or it was just
Yeah.
it's like a misplaced memory. But I know
You know.
that I was wearing it.
I believe you.
I know I was. And there's no
and
like
again, you just don't know what to say. You don't know how to
No.
explain it. It's
No.
not even attached to like like a dead relative or anything. It's just this
exactly.
weird.
Well, speaking of necklaces, I've got a haunting.
Ooh,
Do you want to do it?
Yes, we get haunted so you don't have to.
I'm going to take my necklace off. I'm going to hypnotise you
Oh, yay!
to find some ghosties.
Do you know what? I really want to see Darren Brown's show this year. Do you want to go?
Yes, I would like to go.
Should we go?
Yeah. I used to think Darren Brown was a bit of a twat. I've always enjoyed his shows. I've always enjoyed anything he's done, but I've always thought he was a bit of a twat. Then as I've
Really?
listened
I
to
think
him
he's
more and
wonderful.
more, I think he probably isn't actually.
I was in love with him.
You know what that is? It's my parents' opinion. Like, because I hate Lorraine Kelly, and I've got no reason to like
I
hate Lorraine Kelly.
Lorraine.
It's because my mum doesn't like her, and I'm like, you just take on their opinions. Don't
I
you?
think Darren Brown's wonderful. I
think he probably
I
is.
fancied him for ages. And
Oh,
then,
yeah, me
and
too.
I, was
I
like,
fancied him.
Oh, Darren, he likes
I know
the
he's not
man.
into us,
He's-
and if he
doesn't
is into one of us, that's not good for us.
Would you allow me to have an affair with Darren Brown?
Yeah, I'd be happy for you.
Would you? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
of
nice.
course.
I mean, not nice for my boyfriend.
No, but I'd
Hall
support
pass?
you.
You
could
can't have a
hall
gay
pass.
hall pass, can you?
I wanted Roy Keane for mine, as we know.
Who's your
but
top
not
like gay
allowed.
hall pass?
Oh, good question. Who is it? Don't know.
Oh no, there's someone who I'm like, oh,
Well, you really fancy?
yeah,
Who's gay?
yeah. And then when I
Who
found out, I
is
was
it?
like, oh,
Oh well, mine
Who?
used to be Will Young.
oh yeah.
I cried, and your brother snogged him.
we need to chat about that tomorrow, don't you? You have to bring it
Yeah,
up.
your brother's fucking snogged it.
I
I think.
know.
Well, I don't fancy him anymore, but I was in. I was like, all that needs to happen is me and Will Young are in the same room, and he's
Yeah.
going to fall madly in love with me. I'm 30 and he's 25.
Andrew
What could
Scott.
go wrong?
Andrew Scott is mine.
I
I just feel like he's so sensual,
so
isn't he?
little, isn't he? Little.
No, he's not.
He's really little.
I've met him.
I've met him. He's tiny.
No.
He's tiny.
No.
And there's nothing wrong with a short king.
Oh no, I
But
don't
I think
remember
he's
him.
really short.
I think because his presence is so like.
He's
oh.
nice. I don't think he's my top. I don't know who it is. I don't know.
Have a think.
I'll
We'll
have
come
a
back
think.
to it.
Maybe Ella Day, actually, from Drag Race.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous.
Oh my god, yes.
And
yeah.
when I met them, I was like, I'm a bit starstruck here,
yeah,
but
and a bit like fancy
stunning,
you in a
gorgeous.
non
Yeah,
way.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do fancy him, for sure. Right. You ready to get hypnotised? So apparently what we have to do is we have to hypnotise you, and you have to really take this seriously now. And I'm going to tell any ghosts in the room
Yeah.
to take over your body while you're hypnotised.
Okay, so I'm going to shut my eyes. Yeah.
Shut your eyes, yeah. No, actually, you need to look at my necklace first. Okay, is that all right? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Right. Relax your body. You are a flower about to grow into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Open your eyes. Stare. Are you watching it? I need to let it get a bit more. It's a bit jerky, actually. It's my Parkinson's.
Jerky.
You're watching?
Yeah.
Are your eyes feeling heavy? Your body's feeling very heavy.
Yeah.
You're a fat bitch.
Vacant pig.
You're a vacant pig. Your body's feeling heavy. Whenever, it's going
It's weird.
round and round.
Whoa.
Just watch it. Just fall into whatever. Kind of
Yeah.
just watch it. Your eyes are feeling heavier.
Mm.
Are you feeling a bit tired?
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah. Just let it take over you. Any spirits in here, please feel free to take over Susie's body. Or if you don't fancy that because it's too knackering, when she opens her eyes, be there. So you didn't see any.
No.
Nothing happened. Okay.
No. Shall I try it again?
Yeah. Go on, one more time. Don't scare me.
Okay, don't you scare me though.
Okay. You ready?
Mhm.
No, I haven't told you to open your
Okay, right, okay.
eyes. Open your eyes in 3.
I can't count.
No. Right, I'm going to do 3, 2, 1.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Right, close your... All right, any spirits, this is your final chance to show us who you are and to make us believe in you, right? Susie's going to open her eyes in 3, 2, 1. Ah!
Fuck's sake, I knew you were going to fucking do something, you little...
I was going to do it anyway, but you did it first, and now I look like a dick.
What's on this?
It's Freddie's star sign.
Oh,
It's cute, isn't it?
Aries.
My nephew.
Whoa. Thanks, Hans. See you
See you
next
later,
week.
bye.